can't lose. Technical difficulties here. Fuck Facebook. We'll get into that in a little bit. I'm joined by my good friend Belford and Ruiz. Good evening. How you doing today?
It could be better. Can't be a lot worse, brother. How you doing?
Less miserable. We was talking about that downstairs, and like I was saying that usually when I go to talk to people and they ask me that, I say that, and they'd be like, "Oh, it's from Peter Steele." They'd be like, "Who?" I'd be like, "Google it. You do that everything else."
Yeah, it's just amazing how people tend to forget about the great music that's actually from around here.
Probably, yeah, literally. And we're in Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn. Whatever the fuck. But I guess you have to, like, basically mumble and, wear tight jeans and, have glitter sparkling on your face to be important. I don't know.
Talking about that, what's this thing with this Juicy World thing? I never even heard of this guy, and this guy is like being portrayed as a legend, so to speak. I don't get it.
I somewhat familiar with him because I have a younger sister, but from what I heard that he was in the airplane or airport or whatever the fuck, and he was a known pill popper, and he OD'd, and it's very tragic and it's unfortunate. But like I was getting onto this shit like last night about it, and people were like, people make memes and make fun of people every day, and then just because you make fun of this guy, all of a sudden, oh my God, you're a piece of shit, and all that stuff. I'm like, look, fuck you. This is a free country, and I can do what the fuck I want. And if I drop dead today, you'll pretty much do the same thing. So what's the point? But he had one song. I forget what the fuck it is. It was about his ex-girlfriend or what the fuck and all like that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, for the younger generation, I guess, yeah. I mean, because what the whole thing about it is that the man, was 21 years old.
Yeah.
No life lived yet. And you're dead. So like that's the thing that's fucked up about it.
I agree. And what's really funny about it, from my perspective, because as I'm 45, so pretty much I grew up listening from all types of music, from old school hip hop. Now it's old school. But I grew up on hip hop. I grew up on rap. I grew up on metal. I grew up on pretty much every single musical genre.
Right.
And lately, a lot of the music that's coming out is just straight trash. And then what kills me is that they glorifying some of these guys like they're the best things since freaking burnt toast, so to speak. And it's
Right.
really sad. I mean, it started a couple of years back when I started seeing these guys walking around with purses. And like, really? Purses? When did that become a thing? I mean, it reminds me of that Boondocks episode with
yeah,
Gags
I know that
Delicious.
shit. Hilarious. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's style and fashion. I'm not into that shit. I mean, people can say about, the whole androgynous thing back in the 80s. They could make fun of people like that. But, either way, as whatever floats your boat. But my problem is that you go around dressing like that and you cracking on other people. That's my issue. I'm like, yeah, have you looked in the mirror lately? Like, I mean, you want to wear purses, whatever, jackets, whatever fuck, that's, it's like, that's fine. I mean, yeah, I'm just, whatever, personally, and especially with Kanye selling homeless clothes for $600. That's another thing I don't like.
Listen, my man is trying to be the Super Surfer now. First he was Jesus. Now
Did you see that shit? Oh my God, he has completely lost his mind. He's gone. He's gone. He's freaking gone.
That's what happens when you're dealing with what I like to call
a Thought-Dashian.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, you got him who lost his mind, and Scott's an alcoholic. Bruce, wants to cut off his dick and, be a woman now. So, I mean, I don't know what the fuck. So, I mean, this guy was on a Wheaties box, man. What the come on now, really? Now you want to wear a dress? Come on, man. You 60-some-odd years old now. You want to be... Whatever. Anyway.
Listen, I have to put a kind of point on that, because I know there's people that struggle for years with their identity, and it's very difficult to just come out and just say, listen, I want to transition, into whether male, female, whatever the case may be.
Right.
What gets me is it's not the glorification, it's the marketing that's coming behind it. Okay? And what I mean by marketing is if it would have been somebody else, lesser known, nobody would have really cared. But of course, it's Bruce Jenner, so now everybody cares.
Exactly. Like, the same thing, go back to the Juice World thing. You got a whole bunch of kids doing same stuff like he does, and he's a regular, and if it was a regular person, he wouldn't give a fuck. Like next, and like whatever. Like, this ass backwards way of thinking. I don't know. I'm just like whatever with that. May you rest in peace, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, again, any loss is always tragic, and especially when it comes down to someone as young as he is.
You have a phone call? Oh, from who?
Good question.
All right. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, is this the Aaron L. Smith can't lose deal?
Yes, it is. We were having technical difficulties on Facebook. I was going to get into that. Apparently, I was blocked for some shit that I didn't do, but whatever. So, what's going?
Oh, you probably did it.
Yeah, blame on the black guy. Yeah, I can always do.
Absolutely.
The president does, so why not?
Yeah, it's going to be the Jew that gets it. So it's the black guy.
Yeah. Zuckerberg.
Hello, Aaron. How the hell are you?
I'm all right, Dave. What's going on, bud?
Nothing much. Same shit, different day. I just thought I'd give you a holler, or else I'd probably be hearing from you tomorrow. Why the hell didn't you call last night? Aren't you paying attention? All that sort of stuff.
I don't remember what happened 5 minutes ago. Honestly,
how can I pay attention to Aaron L. Smith?
Well, you're on the air now and we're talking. So what the fuck, man? I mean, I don't know what's going on.
I got no problem, buddy. How you been?
Less miserable.
Less miserable is slightly better. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through a lot of shit, but I'm here back on the show, and we're going to do this one for now, and I'm going to get rapid and do get back on it in January, and I'm trying to get back in the city. I've been living with my grandparents in Pennsylvania. Whatever. I mean, it's better than nothing. But I'm here.
I'm glad that you're back. I am, and I'll give you a call in January too. Have you got what have you got? Because I don't have Facebook Live. I basically have Facebook. I'm an old guy. I don't know this technology.
Well, what I'm going to do is once I get this video, chopped and screwed and all that, I'll probably put it on YouTube and I'll just share it. Unless Messenger has banned me too, but we'll see what happens. Okay. And but I'll probably just send it to you. All you just because anything is or you could just I'll send it to your Messenger. Or you could it's like give me your email or whatever the fuck. You can just send me your email and I can send it that way. But we're just winging it tonight. Due to Fuckerberg and his cronies at Facebook.
The book face thingy.
Commander Data's lost child. If you're into Star Trek, like Next Generation, looks just like him.
I'm glad to see that you've been able to extricate yourself from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, it's about an hour and a half away. But, it's not like the city where I could just go to a bodega and if I want a 40 ounce in the middle of the night, I can't do that. I would have to basically go to, fucking Walmart to get it.
Yeah. East Bumfuck. It's sort of the same way around here. Once you get out of Boston and you just, in the middle of the night, you ain't going to get anything.
Right.
You want a pastrami sandwich, you ain't going to get it.
No.
Yeah, no. At least in the city. Last time I was down there, I think I was still having dinner at 2 a.m.
That's awesome.
It's cool. It's cool.
I'm in the middle of a bowl when it's like 2 a.m. Definitely. Or just finishing it.
Yeah. I think so, since the last time we spoke, though, they legalized grass in Massachusetts. So I have a whole draw full of weed right now.
That's awesome. I got some in my bag. Shoot. Legalize it here in the state. God damn it. Cuomo, you piece of. Anyway, we're gonna get into that too.
Yes, because I have a few things to say about that as well.
This is this is I can't lose, and that's the reason why we're here. We can do what we talk and say what the fuck we want to, right, Dave?
Absolutely. Now let's talk shit about Trump.
Oh, I know it was coming there.
Listen, I just want to say that when it comes down to this whole impeachment thing, because I'm seeing it from both sides. I'm seeing it from, because I have conservative friends and I do have liberal friends. I have centralist friends as well. I consider myself more of a centralist than anything else. But honestly, all this that's coming out is just killing time to the election.
Pretty much.
Because think about it like this. If they was to really go through this impeachment as quickly as they're supposed to do, certain criminal trials, so to speak, it would have been done and over with, and guess would have been president? Mr. Pence. And that's the last person you want to take.
Oh God, yeah, he looks like one of the like a Central Park rapist.
You don't want my Pence anywhere near that thing.
You know what he reminds me of?
Him too.
No, go ahead. Well, yeah, I was going to say indict his ass, and because knowing him that if Trump does get impeached and removed from office, he'll pardon him quickly. But if
that's the same thing Gerald Ford did with Nixon.
Exactly. But at least Nixon had the sense. It's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not even going to deal with this. But
that's right.
But
because they had him by the short hairs.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, they had that dude, and they've got this one. He's not going to get convicted in the Senate though. When you think about it, because the Republicans have a majority.
It's not looking good. They have no balls.
7 votes.
No, yeah, you need about 20. How many you need on the Republican side? Like 15, 20?
Yeah.
Something like that?
It's just about. But it's, and again, that's one of the major arguments that a lot of my more centralist friends are telling me that, honestly, if it goes to the Senate, it's just going to get squashed. And he's still going to be in office and until the election. And guess what? He's going to ride on the high train straight to the election. Now, me personally, there's only two people that I actually see having any chance of taking this man out.
I'm listening. Go on.
Which is, of course, Mr. Sanders, and
if he doesn't drop dead by now.
Hey, he's still up. He's still up and kicking.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
My son, leave him alone.
Well, you're still around, so yeah, that's good.
But
just because I'm old and that's my son, and I feel very, very, very sad that you think that he's going to drop dead between now and then.
I hope not. I mean, he just had those 2 stents in his heart. I don't know. I don't think he's going to make it. But for I'm gonna let Belford finish his thing and then let you go on.
And the only other person would definitely be Andrew Yang. I mean, he's more business centered, but he has realistic solutions.
Right.
Unlike Sleepy Joe and
Creepy Joe.
Sleepy Creepy Joe.
I'll tell you who interests me.
Dirty
I don't
Grandpa.
think he's going to go anywhere. Is that Steyer guy? Because he's got some ideas, but I don't think he's. Tom Steyer is
Who the fuck
guy.
is that? It's like 30 people running on the Democratic side, some shit like that. I should fucking run.
True, and most of them aren't going to last another couple of months.
You have a point.
And if it goes the way it goes right now, it's going to be, Biden and maybe Bernie and
Warren.
maybe Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, that's my pick.
I don't see her surviving this deal either.
I mean.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just be honest, and how this country is. I mean, I never thought I'd see the day I see a black president, especially getting reelected. Personally, but the way this country is, I don't see them electing a woman. I would love for it to happen. I really do, because I think we kind of need that motherly type of person, especially after this orange fuckwad's been there. But
yeah, I agree.
I really doubt it. I really don't. I mean, that's the same thing for Buttigieg, who has good ideas and stuff like that. But being a homosexual, I'm not so sure if they're going to do that too because everything's had to be Christian and straight and all this other bullshit, So I don't know.
Oh yeah, all the Christians will be up in arms about that. And
You kidding
that's
me?
a shame too, because they know better. They're no better than anybody else. They like to
Exactly.
think they are, but they're no better than anybody else.
I mean, we got a prostitute for the first lady. I mean, like, what the fuck?
That's right. That's right.
I mean, like,
And we keep seeing more and more. We keep seeing more and more news stories about this. This particular pastor is now going to. This just happened in the last week. A pastor's going to jail for diddling little boys. Come on, for crying out loud.
Catholic?
Christians. Jesus.
Not surprised.
No, not the brightest at all. And they don't think they're going to get caught. They just don't think they're going to get caught.
Well, it's like that old joke that Michael Jackson, when he was alive, he should have been a Catholic priest. Instead, he would have went to jail. He would have been transferred.
I love it.
I love Mike though. Mike didn't do that shit.
Yeah.
But
I love this music.
yeah, I still do. I have it on my phone. But I mean, I have this like suspicion, like this thing in my gut, like everybody should be scared to death because I really believe this man's gonna be reelected. I really do. I really do.
Well,
like people are
here's
that
the deal,
stupid.
I agree. I agree with you, but I really do. This is what we need, however. We need to turn the Senate. We need to hold the House and turn the Senate.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because like I would say, because it's gonna pass. The impeachment's gonna pass the House. That's gonna happen. But when it comes to the Senate and those people who do vote not for removing him, they get a list of them. And when it comes election time, you vote those motherfuckers out. That's what it has to
And
be.
I think that's the best right now that the Democrats can hope for is that they turn the Senate through all of this mess, because otherwise another 4 years of this is
I'm moving
terrible.
to Wakanda. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, like, I already said it. Like, I have to get my passport because you never know. Like, I was discussing this with my grandfather like a couple weeks ago. Like, we're in the cusp of a second civil war. Like, the country is somewhat is divided, and I think we never really left the Civil War personally because of how, like, if I go down to Florida now, because that's where my mom lives, and it's like 360 from here, and you still feel even down there in Pennsylvania, like I'm driving down, I see this big ass Confederate flag, I'm like, whoa, I'm not in Kansas anymore, but anyway,
Right.
I just really am very concerned, and whoever the pick is, like, they better have everything ready and they better get going. And this infighting and this bullshit has to stop too.
Now,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we can come together. There should be no reason why we can't come together as a nation, as people. But I just don't understand why people just can't have serious discourse and why they always have to be nowadays at each other's throats. It's just, everybody should smoke a big fat joint.
Well, it's being legal everywhere except for New York, but we'll get
yeah.
into that later.
It's getting there. There's 2 more states that just, I think, legalized it. Pretty soon it'll be legalized everywhere.
I
then
hope
we can
so.
all chill.
Yeah, everybody needs to smoke something.
I mean,
Absolutely.
if you really look at, particularly one thing I will have to say, it was good that he was elected because now you could see the hypocrisy behind all these corporate Democrats. Because yes, they're there.
Quite
in
a
full-
few. Yeah, you're right.
They're in full
Definitely.
force.
Yeah.
No, Trump is bad, but at the same time, let me line up my pockets with special interest groups.
Pretty much.
And they always talking about Republicans, but Republicans are pretty much corporate Democrats in a different suit. That's why I always said Bill Clinton was the greatest Republican the Democrats ever had, because pretty much he imprisoned so many people with his crime bill. He took a budget that was pretty much every deficit every single year, particularly between Reagan and the Bush years, and made it balanced, totally balanced, to the point of a surplus. And that's the tenet of fiscal responsibility.
And another thing I have with problem with Bernie Sanders is that he actually voted for that crime bill, and like that kind of raises me eyebrow. And Joe Biden as well. So like I'm not too sure where they stand on all that stuff like that. And let's talk about Michael fucking Bloomberg running for president.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, and he seems to be chasing them out, so you never know. He might be the guy. I don't know.
I mean, do we really need another billionaire asshole in the
dump.
White House? I mean, do we really need that? I mean, me personally, I've lived in New York, and I was here for all those 12 years where he was the mayor of New York City. He was supposed to be in there for just 8, but he decided that he was going to go ahead and change the rules and run another term, and then rechange the rules so nobody else could do it. And like he made basically everything so freaking expensive here. You could barely live here. The rent is ridiculous, and that whole stop and frisk. Because personally, I did that with that, and I'm just not with it. So that nasally prick can go fuck himself, in my opinion.
And I hear you, and I'd be willing to bet you he'd lose to the the orange dirt, the orange dump.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like I said, the problem with this country. And I've been dancing around it, but like I said, it comes to a point where people show their true colors, and that's what happened after we had 8 years of Obama. They wanted to erase everything and anything this man did, and like I said, he wasn't perfect, but you know what? He did his job and he did it well. But my problem is, like I said, the thing was that Trump has to just pretty much erase everything this man had to do because I think he had a hard on for Obama. Honestly, I think he does. Personally, I think Trump's a little fruity, but but like I just really think that especially personally got to get rid of this damn electoral college. That's one thing, because like I said, that's historically and blatantly racist.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Also, it favors like 4 states.
Oh, definitely. Like especially Alabama and all those red states like Texas and give me another one. Florida's a red state, and Pennsylvania I think is a swing state, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's one. Ohio's another one.
And
yeah.
Arkansas.
What are you
Arkansas.
gonna do?
Oh yeah, whatever. Fuck, yeah. Bill Clinton.
What are you going to do? Arkansas. Let's see. That's Huckabee territory.
Yeah.
No.
And, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And his daughter, the one that looks like Uncle Fester with a wig.
Oh.
That would be true.
Like she spoke sativa and indica
she sounded like him too.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Ugh. But like I said, whoever I want to say this, right here, right now, whoever the candidate is for Democrat, I'm going to vote for them whether I like them or not. Because it could be a shit stain on a wall running against Trump, and I would vote for it, personally.
As I would too. So there's at least two votes for the shit stain.
Exactly.
I'm with you, bud. I'm with you. I got to take off, but I will be calling you back in January when you get your show back on the road.
Definitely. Well, thanks for calling in, David Stern, ladies and gentlemen. My man.
You're welcome. You're
All
welcome.
right.
You guys take care.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Dave Stern.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Good guy. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, all of a sudden Bloomberg wants to come in, and I'm like, I mean, didn't we just get rid of you like a couple of years ago? We didn't want nothing to do with you, and then all of a sudden you want to do this gun stuff, control stuff, and all that.
And that's a good thing. You mentioned stop and frisk earlier, and
I was personally stop and frisked many times during his administration.
And the thing is that stop and frisk. That's not new. It wasn't just him that had it. Of course, Orange Boy's best friend, best pal.
Oh, Giuliani?
Oh yeah,
Vampire.
Yes.
He never comes out during the day. You notice that, right?
Yeah.
And then when he looks really nervous and like sweating. Yeah, that's a vampire. Definitely.
So when his administration was up, stop and frisk was pretty much implemented on a regular freaking basis, and I myself, and just because of my complexion, that doesn't mean that I wasn't going to stop either.
Of course not.
Because that's another thing also. People will always talk about the racial component behind stop and frisk. It wasn't just that. It was more of a social component. If you live in a certain area, regardless if you're black, white, polka dot, you're still going to get stopped.
Oh, for sure. And then he had those really dumb, all these rules were always on the book. He just enforced them. But ticketing everybody, like the pregnant lady that was sitting on the steps, the cops gave her a ticket. All kind of like this petty, dumb shit. And then now, he also wants to be like this. He was trying this nanny thing where you can't smoke here, you can't drink this. He was trying to ban the soda thing. I'm like, look, people want to have high blood pressure and diabetes. That's on them.
That's their choice. That's their choice.
Like I said, fuck Bloomberg. Eat a dick. Lazily, weasel, troll. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry. Finish your point.
No, the point of the matter is that right now, the way this country is going, and particularly, I don't know if you've seen the little report in which, the world's leaders were just looking at Trump and just pretty much laughing in his face.
Yeah, but we become the laughing stock. We used to be big bad America, and now everybody's laughing at him. And then, he's supposed to be this tough, strong guy, but he can't take a freaking joke. As soon as people made fun of him, he left.
Yeah.
He's a chicken shit, man. I'm so tired of talking about it. I'm tired of seeing him every day on the news. There's more important things to talk about, but it's every 5 minutes, this guy's name is coming out of people's mouth, and he's you can't get away from it. So, I really hope something good comes out of all this crap. Ready?
Look, a lot of my friends that are on both sides of the aisle are pretty much saying the same thing. It's not. If I could say the one thing that I saw that shocked me today, and I read this in the New York Times, they're finally doing a whole new NAFTA deal.
Oh no!
Yes.
I remember
NAFTA. And it's voted from House Democrats, who are supposed to be impeaching this fucker.
Right.
And his officials, which officials, they don't mention it.
Well, go ahead. Finish your point. Go ahead.
But it's already in the works. Guess what? They're already trumping it at, I hate using that word, but they're already making it as one of his biggest things in his presidency.
His only thing.
Next to, the Affordable Care. And that's something I want to talk about
Go ahead.
real quick. And, it's very sad when people vote for congressmen and senators that really are not looking into their best interests. When this Affordable Care Act, before it came out, hardly, there was at least 15, 20 million people without insurance.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I'm just giving broad numbers, but the point was, when you got companies like Allstate, and I'm just not talking about the private insurance, I'm talking about the city insurance as well. Metro Plus, Health First. Everybody's making money off of this health care thing, and we don't see no real results. We got the highest obesity in the world. Mm-hmm. We got the highest death rates. And mind you, we're the most technologically advanced when it comes down to medicine. We also have a lot of different options when it comes down to medicine, but yet we got insulin that's already been marked up 150% in the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. When is this going to end? And I don't see Congress or insurance companies, nobody's really touching upon that issue.
Right.
Many's talking about Medicaid for all. It's all fine and dandy. How is it going to be paid for?
Right. Yeah, because you can't just take out thin air and all that. But America's always been about money. About you put lining their pockets with no matter whether you're Democrat or Republican. So sick people. That's where the big bucks are at. Nobody's trying to cure anybody. I mean, Chris Rock said, cure AIDS. You can't even cure your athlete's foot years ago. But, I mean, it's just come to the point where, like, you just gotta just deal with it for the moment and, hope things get better, which which most likely will not, but you still have to have that teeny little bit of faith that maybe it might work out, But, like I said, I'm getting my passport. I'm moving to Wakanda if Trump gets reelected. I'm getting my ready, and that's it. We're going to take a little break, and we'll talk some more, wrap some things up. This is Aaron Smith, Can't Lose, and we'll be right back. Facebook? No. All right. This will probably be the last video I ever do on there. You fucking. Anyway.
Let's talk about some more positive news.
Yes. We do. Not everything's negative on Aaron Swift Can't Lose. Well, no, it's whatever you can take it, stuff like that. Yeah. I don't care, but yeah. Go ahead.
Well, have you seen the trailer for the new Ghostbusters movie?
Yes, I did.
What did you think about that?
I want to see it. I mean, I've been wanting to see this for damn near almost over 20 years. I mean, I'm a fan. I did not like the girl busters, if you will. It's not because it was all women, so don't think I'm sexist or whatever the fuck. It just was the same fucking first movie, just with girls in it. That's just my opinion. If you don't, and whatever. But I'm into it. I really. It looks interesting. And I know it comes out this summer, right?
Yeah.
Next summer.
Yeah.
Next summer.
Next summer.
All right. Coming. Cool. Yeah. So let's talk about it. What's going on? What do you think about it?
Well, honestly, again, I was also a big Ghostbuster fan, and I did see the 2016 film, and it's
Be
like,
honest.
It's like they went to an alternate universe in which everything is gender reversed, and pretty much took Ghostbusters from that universe and just played it and made it seem like, oh no, we're rebooting the whole franchise, and pretty much what they did was just gender swap the first movie.
Pretty much.
And
you get these woke people who think that, because you didn't like it because it was women, and I was like, no, I didn't like it because it was a shitty movie. It could have had dancing monkeys in it, and I still wouldn't care. But
which is a surprise to me, because I like Paul Feig. Paul Feig makes some pretty decent movies. I mean, I love Spy.
Okay.
I enjoy Bridesmaids, and he...
Cool.
And
chick flicks.
And he also has done a lot of episodes for The Office and plenty of TV shows in which, a lot of them were Emmy winners.
Nice.
The problem was, and it's still going on, why are you pushing this narrative of wokeness into our movies? I mean, we're here to be entertained.
That's what's said now, bro. Unfortunately.
We're here to be entertained. We're here to forget the past. Going to be 4 years of this jackass and
maybe another 4. Who knows?
No, please.
You gotta
Let's stay
Be
positive.
realistic, man. Gotta be realistic. That's a possibility.
But let's stay positive for a moment,
Okay.
and go back to a good example. Charlie's Angels. The other reboot.
That.
Okay.
The Kristen Stewart version.
Okay. Now, first off, when you have an actress that's pretty much has her mouth open every time she even talks,
And not in the right way.
Yeah. I mean, it's who asked for this film? Honestly. Who asked for this film?
I mean, how many times can you reboot a franchise? I mean, until it's you beat it till you can't get. You're trying to get blood out of a rock, honestly.
And then the comments that came out afterwards talking about, well, there's no female-centered franchises. Okay.
Wonder Woman.
Wait, well, hold on. We could even go even more.
Alien. Go back in the day.
Yeah, Aliens. As recently, Atomic Blonde.
Right.
With Charlie
Right.
Theron.
Yeah.
Like these comments are just, you didn't see my movie because what's the best word? I'm trying to be more PC about it.
You ain't gotta be PC here, brother.
Well, pretty much we're looking like misogynistic assholes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you 100%. The problem is that everybody nowadays is offended by everything, and that needs to stop. I mean, I get it. If you don't like something, there's something called turn the channel. There's something called turn it off. There's something like there's something also called don't watch it. But my thing is that there are people, and this ain't just black and white, men and women. This is just across the board. People just get mad at every little thing because it's come to a point where everybody is sensitive and to whatever I can basically post something on Facebook. I can't do it now, but I'm gonna be on that shit for a while. But anyway, but I could post something and then people will get offended by it, and that's their personal belief, and that's perfectly fine. But like I said, I'm like, if you don't like it, there's that little unfriend button, there's a block button.
Exactly.
And use it to your advantage.
And you know what it is too? It's also about the way the media is portraying a lot of this wokeness that's going on. We did have the Me Too movement, which it was a great idea. It was just misused.
Oh, and abused.
Oh my God!
Definitely.
Because what was her name? Asia Argento, was the daughter of Dario Argento.
Right.
Pretty much got caught with her hand in the cookie jar, talking about, well, I was abused by this producer and this director, but yet you're seeing a 14-year-old, I believe it was.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Talk
about robbing the cradle.
Yeah, like
Good
pretty
God.
much she was doing it. And again, me working in the mental health field, that would be something that she probably carried on through the years.
Plausible, definitely.
And passed it on to pretty much a child. But the point is that they started it with such good intentions, and it's now becoming such a toxic movement. To the point like, what's this guy, the comedian? You know what I'm talking about. Louis
Just because I'm a comedian doesn't mean I know other comedians, and there's a few that I wish I didn't know, but go on.
On Louis C.K., for example.
Oh, that guy.
All the man did was jerk off in his own dressing room.
Right.
In front of a woman. He didn't touch her. He didn't violate her.
Yeah, she could have left.
The point was, they made such a big deal out of it, and it pretty much destroyed his career, while others that have done 10 times worse are still...
Weinstein.
No. They actually settled...
I heard about that.
46 million. That's a drop of a fucking hat for a guy like that.
Oh, yeah, that's like his left pocket. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't want to go to jail because he'll be a victim. But anyway.
Oh, no. I mean, and again, and I'm going to say it now, the government killed Epstein. I'm sorry to say it like that. I don't believe that he killed himself. I'm sorry that...
Oh, you're one of those conspiracy theorists, guys.
No. It's not a conspiracy. It's just when there's too many coincidences, it always smells like a cover-up. You mean to tell me that this is a man that you have built such a huge federal case for years, and we're talking about to the point that this man was pretty much, his halfway house was his office. He did, his probation office was his office.
Right.
Okay? You mean to tell me that when they caught him again, you're going to have guards that only been there 24-hour shift in MCC, and you've seen MCC.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that, but yeah.
But again, it's a huge fucking place. You got to have, and especially a high-profile defender like that. I mean, seriously?
Yeah, they could have did a better job of protecting him, even though he was a scumbag. But I mean, this goes back to guerrilla tactics, or people being gangsters and whatnot, because the government is gangster. They're the best gangsters out there. I mean, these little nickel and dime guys out there that be on the streets, those are fake gangsters. The real gangsters, you gotta be in government. But if you know too much, they will shut you up. I mean, I don't really get into those theories or whatnot, but it is plausible. And I guess we'll never know because he's gone, and these two people, cops or whatever, they were supposed to watch him. They're taking the fall for it, so I don't know.
It's like the whole thing. Like, I bring certain things back because, again, I'm just telling it how I see it, and I see it from what social media was, corporate media, which even independent media. A good example of that, look what happened in Vegas, right? Whatever happened to, the guy that actually caught him? Where is he? He should be a national fucking hero. And guess what? Nowhere to be found.
Remind me of that.
Okay,
again.
in Vegas, this was the guy that took an AK-47, shot from, I think it was like a 13.
Oh yeah, that one. I mean, I've lost count since then because it's been several other mass shootings since then. But yeah.
And this guy supposedly had such an arsenal, but there's no video evidence that he brought all, because, and even Columbine, if you look at Columbine, you see everything that happened within Columbine.
Right.
And we're talking about 1992. This was what, 2017? All right?
2 years ago.
Yeah, and with the technology that we have, you couldn't find no videotape evidence that this guy brought in such an arsenal in. You couldn't find no videotape evidence that he was having a shootout with whoever it was, because they said it was just one lone security guard.
In Vegas, that's bullshit. They got guards at every door.
See, and this is the point I'm trying to say. There are things that are just too implausible, but yet once certain things happen, people stop talking about it.
Yeah, too many distractions. And too many things going on at once, and then you have to really sit down and pay attention to certain things. And like I said, anything is possible, especially with stuff like that. And trust. I rather trust my ex-wife with my bank account than trust the government. Seriously. And but. I mean, it just comes to the point where it's like, when is enough going to be enough? And, like I said, it's been a couple of shootings since then. And, with the whole, like I said, all these surveillances and all these cameras everywhere, you mean to tell me that there's no evidence of this anywhere? Like I said,
and this is Vegas.
I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid.
This is Vegas we're talking about. This is one of the most recorded places on earth.
Oh, definitely.
It's all about money. But yet, we do not see not one piece of videotape evidence that this man brought in.
I don't think we ever will.
Okay? And talking about my shootings, I'm sorry about, what happened in Jersey City.
Yes, yeah. Was that yesterday? Or
yesterday.
Right.
And it's...
I heard bits and pieces of it. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit more.
Okay, from my understanding, because again I've been keeping track of it, and it's still they don't have all the information, which is another thing I find kind of strange. So far, 2 individuals went into a Jewish market, from my understanding, and they pretty much went and was about to rob the place, or they were just there to do a terrorist act, so to speak. They did find pipe bombs. They did find massive amounts of ammunition.
Oh, they were ready for war.
Yeah. I mean, 3 hours? A 3-hour shootout? I mean, I don't know if you remember. Yeah, I don't know if you remember a while back in Los Angeles, the heat robbers. The guys that came in, they had full body armor.
That was a great movie, by the way.
Of course. But with these guys came out of nowhere. They had full body armor. They had several rounds of ammunition in drums. And the cops couldn't do nothing to 2 men that they had to go to an armory right next door, a gun store, to get more ammunition.
That's crazy.
Now, that being said, these 2 guys held off not 1, not 2, but 3 different counties in New Jersey. Now, Jersey is very small. Right. Particularly Jersey City, even though it is a city, it's still a small city.
Yeah.
They have the resources to counteract, certain people. Now, these 2 men, supposedly it's 2 men. It might be more.
That's what I heard, too. Yeah.
There's 2 men held off 3 different police counties.
How? What they got, an Iron Man suit or something?
And that's the thing. It was, from what was reported, it was handguns. It was all handguns. So for me, I'm like Jackie Chan. Like, How?
I don't get that.
I don't get it.
Unless they got the a magic gun or something. I don't know.
And I even heard stories, because everybody on the internet want to be, Sherlock homeboy and come up with their own theories, like they did with that young girl in Chicago. Like, no, that murder was a setup and whatnot.
Right,
And nobody
right.
knows to this day
I
what
remember
happened.
that. Yeah.
But everybody want to be ghetto detective. Now, now again,
I'm gonna use that ghetto detective.
Now we got people coming out saying that this guy in particular, the cop that was killed,
Right.
unfortunately, that he was a corrupt cop. I'm like, where are you getting these ideas from?
Probably with somebody that doesn't like police. Definitely.
I mean, Jersey City, they don't have a really good track record when it comes down to police and community relations.
So
But
I lived out there for a little bit. It was all right. It was years ago though. But yeah, you have a point. Definitely.
But I sincerely doubt it's something. It sounds too much something out of a fucking movie,
Yeah, it's a bit far fetched, for what you're coming from. Definitely.
So again, this is time and time again. We're talking about people, and we have to see it from both sides. I mean, you got one side talking about, well, we got too many guns on the street. Yes, that's very true. But at the same time, we're not doing nothing to prevent these guns from being put out on the street. Well, getting back to what Chris Rock used to say, we should sell guns for cheap and sell the bullets for like $5,000 each.
Yeah, that'll stop a whole bunch of shit.
It boggles the mind in which we still fall back on that Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, which again, it's a natural right for us. It was written in the Constitution, granted.
Almost 250 years ago, which needs to be changed because, that was about militias and all kind of other shit. I mean, people really need to sit down and read that thing, and then they'll be like, oh, but unfortunately for my, people on the red side, they don't read too much. I don't think.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say that. I think they were just more misinformed. Because when you got guys like Turning Point USA and all these other...
those conservative radio stations people.
When you got these guys just...
Fuck them.
Hey, like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate.
Hey, it's perfectly fine. You like to stay in the middle. I try to do that as well, but it seems to like I always lean to the fucking left. Like I'll be like... dead center, and I'll just go like this, I mean, there's certain things that I don't know if I'm like, okay, all right, but it comes to the point where it's like common sense, and like I said, in elections, like I'm going across party lines sometimes. Like I said, I go for the best candidate. I don't go for the party, but in this particular election, like I said, it could be. Harambe could come back from the dead and run for president against Trump, and I will definitely vote for him. Remember that fucking gorilla?
Yeah, I remember that was just unfortunate what happened to Harambe. But, again, it's all about perspective and perception, Because when we accept that the truth is not the truth, the vampire says.
Fake news.
It just boggles the mind. But then again, common sense is not always that common, brother.
Oh, yeah, Voltaire. Yeah, that was my dude. Like, back in English and in high school, I learned about him, and he said that. And it's true. Like I said, not everything is what you think it is or you see. I could get that. But to a certain point, if it's in your face and it's in black and white, you can make your own idea on it and stuff like that. But, to basically say blatantly, oh, this is not true because one person said so, that's bullshit, personally.
Look, one of my dear friends, which, we know each other for years, and, he's turning more conservative now.
Which is his prerogative, personally.
Which again, I understand his ideals, okay? Mm-hmm. And I've seen a lot of my friends that were, in the same position that I went, dealing with HRA, dealing with, trying to get these entitlements just to pick ourselves up, to then years later come out and say, well, why my taxes is paying for somebody else that's not doing anything for themselves.
Well, who the fuck else is gonna pay for it? I mean, really, I get that point, but my thing is like this: it's everyone pays taxes for it, not just you. And it's been like this forever. I mean, if that's the case, then give these people better opportunities for jobs. Give these people, I think stuff like that with school and all that. What the fuck? I mean, these are the same people. And like I said, for that, like I said, I get into discussions about this all the time, and I have a cousin who is ultra conservative, and there's nothing you can tell him that's not true. And but that's fine. But like I said, I mean, if it's literally in your face and the facts are right there, and you're telling me no, this is not true, something fucking wrong with you. Something wrong with you.
I know people that are like that too.
I mean, it's factual and it's right there, and I don't seem to. You're telling me no, that's not true. I'm like, whatever you're smoking, I don't want that. Because that is some strong ass shit, and it needs to stay away from me. Definitely.
Now, and here's another little known fact. Okay, now people forgot about this. Our Civil Rights Act from 1967. You know that the majority of states in the United States have yet to put that into law.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're talking about a law, an amendment that came out decades,
50 years ago, plus.
And it's benefiting everyone. It's not like it's just one particular place of people or one particular ideology, orientation. No, it benefits everyone. And yet we still have states that are still as backwards about this.
The problem is that people are stuck in their ways, and they don't want to get out of that. And that's the gospel right there. I mean, like I said, as soon as you go further down south, way past where we are, the Carolinas, you got, Montana and all these other places, like, cave people. No, I'm just playing. But, they're going to be who they are, and you're not going to be able to change them. So the best thing for people to do is to basically be yourself and you stay true to your convictions. That's what I try to do on this show. But, I don't know, man. Like I said, it sometimes I don't believe it is worth arguing with certain people about this because, like I said, they're so thick-headed and they're so, to the point where it's like, I don't want to hear it. I'm all right, fine. Then whatever. I'm going about my business. But it's just that's just for me. Like I said, there's certain type of people that it's like talking to a brick wall, and it's no point.
And you do have a point on that, and this is why when people send me, like, for example, I have friends that send me videos from YouTube and articles from certain sites. The majority of them, they're sending me stuff from conservative channels, conservative news media. Where's, if you're fair and balanced, where's the liberal coverage? Where's the centralist coverage?
But that's the problem I have as well, because, you just can't just look at one side of the argument. You have to look at both. And I've watched Fox News for about 15 minutes because that's all I could take. But, you do have to see what they have to say, even if you don't agree with it. And, like I said, I do my best to stay in the middle, but I'm always, left. I'm always leaning left. And, it's just that's how it is for me personally. Like I said, if you're a Republican, fine. You want to support Trump, fine. That's on you. Personally, I'm good. I'm real good.
All right. Now let's get away from all this depressing shit.
Fuck that orange fuck stick anyway.
and now let's talk about a topic that we both enjoy.
Oh, what's up?
Marijuana.
Yes.
Now,
can I get a sound bit for that? Weed.
Yes.
Damn right. Stand to know for that shit.
That's, I see your point. You're in a state right now that does have medicinal marijuana, and pretty soon it's going to be recreational.
When?
Yes.
When Doves Cry?
But
Love that record, by the way.
But they do have medicinal marijuana in Pennsylvania. Trust me, I have friends that live out in Bethlehem and Arlington, and they're like, "Oh, come by, we got some stuff over here."
Well, shit, need to bring that over there to fucking Strasburg. Shit, like it's a dry ass county out there. Like I usually come in to get my stuff, because I had a guy for years, and I'm not gonna give him up because he's always has. But shit, that's great, man. Like I mean, I really but I do know that they did change certain laws where you get a ticket now. You're not gonna go spend 20 hours and holding with a whole bunch of fucking people with a one toilet and eating the fucking peanut butter and cheese sandwich with the milk and all that stuff. So I've heard, but anyway.
Well, I'll tell you from my experience living in New York, right? Growing up in the era in which cannabis was so criminalized that now we're halfway there. Okay, we do have medicinal marijuana in New York, but it's only through vape cartridges, which, oh wow, vapes. That's another thing.
Yeah, everybody's not liking vaping now. Mm-hmm. That's another thing, but we'll get to that.
And of course, edibles can be purchased in dispensaries. Right. But the one thing that did strike me as odd, especially now, is that there's a lot of spots that I will go to, and now these guys are just like, hey, I got this, I got that, I got this, without no fear of police involvement. Police are not going to waste their time on cannabis dealers anymore. I seen it with my very own eyes. Mm-hmm. That cops will come in, they will smell it. Yes, literally, they were like, yeah, we just, ain't nothing going on here, and they just leave. I've seen it time and time again. Mm-hmm. And pretty soon it is going to be legalized. I give it another year. You know why?
Is Cuomo still governor here? I don't know about that.
Well, again, hold on, because remember, the state is going to need money very soon. Mm-hmm. Look, when Colorado went and decided they were the first state to go recreational, they decided, you know what, let's put this money into good use. Let's put it into outpatient programs. Let's put it into education. Within the first year, they pretty much covered all public schools and pretty much all mental health programs within the state. Within 1 year. Within 1 year of legalization. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, and New York, that right now has a desperate need for money, especially when it comes down to mental health, when it comes down to medical, particularly those that are, out on the street, unfortunately. Right. As I see it every single day. Guys are growing up. Before, I used to see maybe like 2 or 3 people sleeping on the train. Now I seen whole carts.
Yeah.
Full of people.
Shelters ain't no better.
Oh God! Don't. No, that's not even that. See, I was trying to think of something positive, and we going back to the negative.
I know from personal experience, but we'll remain positive.
And I will say this when it comes down, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about this whole shelter thing. Mm-hmm. It is so mismanaged and badly run.
Definitely.
When you're paying hotels close to $2,000 for a family of 3 to stay in a studio. Because a hotel room is pretty much a goddamn studio.
A good one.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you couldn't give even a one-shot deal to someone that desperately needs it to pay off their rent. there's something wrong there.
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, it goes back to Bloomberg and him being mayor and having all his rich friends and run up all these only up all these real estate places and running people out of New York. Like
Oh, don't get me started on affordable housing.
Yeah, right.
Affordable housing. I was checking Housing Connect, which is the
Yeah, I'm connected. I'm on that too.
there's the New York City lottery for people that want to get affordable housing.
Right.
Now, there is affordable housing within areas that not too many people want to live at. Okay.
The hood.
Pretty much. We will have rent mediums ranging between, for a studio, for example, $340. Anyone that's living on any kind of entitlements could afford that, right?
Right.
Now, let's go a little bit further downtown, particularly Harlem, for example. There are buildings being put up that the rent alone, regardless of how much you're making, it's at least $2,000 a month. Who the hell can afford that?
Not nobody I know, and that's the problem is that we got these people that were supposed to look out for us, and they were looking out for themselves, and they line their pockets, and that's why everything's so expensive. And like I said, I'd say the joke about it is that white people used to get off at 96th Street on one train, but now there's nothing but them beyond there, and stuff like that, walking around, running around 4 o'clock in the morning, talking about lovely days. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why are you here? Whatever. That's right. Harlem is yours now. I forgot. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm glad you
On my way.
I'm glad you brought that up because I am guilty of racial profiling.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Where was this? Where was this?
No, this is actually an occurrence every single day riding the subway.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much like you said, white folks don't go up 96th Street.
Past 110th.
So pretty much I will go on the train and, you're going to have the hard workers just, they're already sitting down, construction workers, nurses. That's fine. I just look around and like, well, I see a guy with a suit here. Let me just stand right next to him. All right, he gets off in 42nd Street. I already got my seat all the way back home.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely.
So again, I consider that racial.
That's not profiling. That's New York City. That's how it is. They get off at 42nd and 34th and all that other shit. That's no, man. No, I thought you would be like, maybe he went to a crack house on 135th and Lenox. I mean, that'd have been profiling, honestly.
But you understand my point. Like, we as New Yorkers, I'm a lifelong New Yorker. I've been in New York, God knows how many years. I've only been to Connecticut and Bridgeport, at all places, for maybe like a year and a half. And I was born in Puerto Rico, so that was just 5 years of my life.
Right.
But pretty much, I'm a lifetime New Yorker, and I always ridden the train system all my life, and I always loved the MTA. And it's a segue to that.
You're the only one.
Now it's just like, what the hell are we spending this money on, right?
Oh, you talking about the MTA?
Oh, yes.
You want me to jump in on that for a little bit?
Yes, please,
we got a little time left. But personally, that money is going to kids that they didn't want, yachts, because I believe nobody who works for the MTA, especially the high ups, don't ride the subway or the bus. So definitely. But I always said that MTA stands for many tender asses, because that's exactly what it is.
Listen, man, I bring up this point because, like I said, I'm a lifelong commuter. I've ridden trains all my life from work, and again, I was around when that big strike that was happening a few years back, when the bus drivers were like, no, we're getting tired of this shit. All the transit workers went on strike for a couple of weeks. The city was pretty much shut down at that point.
I remember that.
And
had to walk everywhere.
And of course, that's the MTA's little defense. Oh no, we got to spend more money on workers and whatnot. And AM New York had a nice, interesting article in which the comptroller of New York City pretty much told the MTA, you're spending money on nonsense. They spend over $600 million on new trains that, A, hasn't been produced, and the ones that are out, they're breaking down too easily, okay? We're dealing with a train system that's over close to like 150 years old, and they're doing Band-Aids.
Right.
They're not overhauling the whole system. Because if you look at the Second Avenue train station, very good example.
Right.
That place is immaculate. That whole train.
It's real nice. Yeah, I've been on there.
Very immaculate.
Oh, yeah.
It looks so gorgeous. You know where I was at the other day? I went to take someone to a shelter down by Atlantic Avenue. Have you ever been to that train station?
Yeah.
It's just a fucking death trap.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
You know, right? So where is this money going to if
I told you, whores, unwed children, yachts, shit like that.
It boggles the mind.
Money taking asshole, that's another one.
Yeah, look, if you're, look, they're crying right now about, and this is something I've never seen before in all the years I've been on the MTA. They're telling people to pay their fare in their advertisement.
Oh, you get a fine. You used to get locked up for that.
Yes, you used to get locked up every single time. Trust me, I've been.
Yeah, same here.
What kills me is that when I was working in Harlem, I was working right there on 145th Street, and I would take the 19 bus every day from 149th Street to 145th Street. It was a lot easier than just going all the way downtown to then go all the way up for just one stop.
The 2 and the 3. Right?
Yeah. Now, every time I get on this bus, in particular times, for example, like in the summertime, it's usually people coming out the bowl. The buses is always packed. Right. What kills me is that you have at least 6 or 7 people going into the back of the bus every single time. And as recently as, I want to say August, was the last time I was over there was at least 15 people that went on the back of the bus. Now, mind you, the bus is already packed as it is.
Right.
And guess what? There were 2 officers standing right there. You know exactly what they did?
Arrest them?
No, they got off the bus.
Wow.
Okay?
That's the worst.
You know, no. This is not new. I've seen it time and time again. To put it to you like this, you know those select buses, right? You get on.
Another Bluebird, Jim.
Which is pretty much, okay, if I'm going to go maybe like 2 or 3 stops, why should I pay?
Yeah.
I could just get on that and just jump off. Now, they actually have specific officers for those buses.
Yeah, those security guys, the MTA security guys.
You
Cookie
know.
cutter cops. Yeah, those guys. The ones that couldn't pass the test. Those pieces of shit. But anyway.
So pretty much, it's really fucked, because they will grab these people off the buses. They'll have them right there, right next to their little cruiser, and they'll wait for the real cops to come.
Wow.
It's just
That's pathetic.
yeah, pretty.
Like, that's really a waste of time. Like, I remember one incident I had with them. This was like years ago. And like, he saw me literally, you know, you gotta put the freaking Metro card in the thing, and you gotta get your receipt. And he literally saw me get everything, and then he still stopped me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, really? Like, I said, you're that boy, you need some company, you want to talk to somebody or some shit? Like, what the fuck? He's like, let me see your receipt. I said, you know, you didn't see me over there getting it? So I said, and then I mean, like, I was already pissed off that day for whatever fucking reason, right? So I literally like flung it. I said, here, floss your ass with it too, you know, whatever, fuck. But yeah, so we got a little bit more. We got a couple more minutes left, so we're gonna wrap it up soon. Is there anything that you want to gripe about? You want to vent on? You know, last couple of minutes. You know, what have you? Anything that happened to you today? You had a good day?
No, again, and this we would touch upon pretty quickly. The Mandalorian. Have you seen that yet?
I don't give money to that evil rat. I mean, I'm sorry. Anything that big is a rat, not a mouse. I'm sorry. No.
I agree with you. I'm totally.
Okay, give me $9.99. Was it $6.99? $9.99. Which one is this?
Well, it's $6.99, and I'll tell you like this: as me being a Star Wars fan, it is a very phenomenal.
Oh, I heard nothing but great stuff about it. I'm just waiting for the bootleg.
Listen. There's torrent services.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna get to it.
I am not advocating
of course
or
not.
condoning the use of
the views and opinions of these people on this show do not reflect this radio station or people working here. It's just us crazy Negroes. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I heard nothing but good stuff about it, and I get to check it later. But I have so many services. I pay for Prime. I pay for the WWE Network, which I don't want to, but I figure why the fuck not?
Yeah.
But yeah, somewhere down the line I'll probably check it out. I'll hook it up.
And the reason why I bring this up, because now the streaming wars have begun.
Apparently, yeah.
Because of Disney coming in, now the streaming wars have begun. You know what? Honestly, ever since I got in Netflix, I stopped watching cable. I refuse to.
I mean, you're not the only one, because I got people that will just get a Fire Stick and just cancel their subscriptions and their service because who wants to see a whole bunch of old movies and a bunch of crap, and you're paying $100 a month for cable, where you can just buy the Fire Stick. I think it's like $24.99 on sale this time. You can get that, and just get some internet, and that's it. Who save money and less crap. So yeah, I'm with that. Definitely.
And all the reason. And look, I'm paying for basic freaking cable,
and that's all you need. Literally,
basic freaking cable, and guess how much I'm still paying for it. With all, with the phone and
with that triple play, about $100, change.
Let's try $150. Okay. Now, the only reason why I still have it is because of my mom. My mom loves her soap operas. She watches her telenovelas.
Yeah. That's fine. You got to make. Don't mess with mama and her soaps, man. Got to keep that, definitely.
And it's more for her than it is for me. I stay with my internet.
Right.
I have Netflix. I'm never giving up on Netflix because Netflix had yet.
Me either, and I'm not paying for it. So yeah.
All right, you good? Well, I have.
Don't change the password on me, please.
I have Hulu now, but I'm not paying for that. I wonder who is.
Right.
But
you.
And I paid for my year for Disney Plus, and that's more because of the Marvel than it is, and of course The Simpsons, because I'm a big Simpsons fan.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that they're going to be off soon. They're going to be canceling or something like that.
It's
coming towards the end.
It's time.
Yeah, it's like over 30 years, right?
Yes, it's going to be like 30, 31, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So it's that time. They already got extremely rich. I mean, considering that out of all people, Hank Azaria is one of my favorite actors on that show in particular. You know why? He pretty much voices
everybody.
Literally,
except for I think Bart is one by a lady, right?
Nancy Cartwright, who does the voice of Bart Simpson, also does the voice of, and you could tell,
right?
You could tell from certain voices. I know she does Nelson Muntz. She does. Ralph Wiggum. So there are certain voices she still does. The only person that only sticks to, actually, 3 voices on that show is, I think her name is Lisa Craver.
Okay.
She's the one that does the voice of Marge and her sisters.
Okay.
That's it. That's all she does. Dan Castanella, who does Homer's voice, he does the other half of the equation.
Yeah,
and
pretty much the whole show.
And this guy from Spinal Tap, Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
He does more the older voices on the show,
Okay.
like Ken Brockman, Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
So, and these guys are so paid. I mean,
Yeah.
per episode, I believe it's like.
And then the reruns keep going, so they
Oh no! Matter of fact, there is one person that only does one voice on that show.
Lisa.
Yes, and you know what was the first time I even heard of? Oh, I'm trying to remember her name. She has a very distinct name. She was in a show called Herman's Head.
I think Yardley Smith or something like that.
I think it is Yardley Smith.
Yeah, we'll Google that real quick. But I mean, I've been watching it forever, and I'm sad to see it go. But I mean, it's time.
It's
I mean, after a while, it's you gotta let it go. Definitely. But
Family Guy is going through it right now.
Family Guy's terrible now. Personally, I don't watch it anymore.
I mean, I prefer American Dad.
Oh yeah, no. American Dad is now pretty much the staple when it comes down to adult animation. Like was American Dad, Archer.
I like Archer.
Oh God, I just finished watching the new season 2. Shit.
It is Yardley Smith. Yeardley Smith, whatever how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Archer. Oh, damn it! They just on Netflix, Big Mouth.
Yeah, I heard that's cool too.
Yeah, that show is just
Awesome.
oof.
Yeah, I dig it.
Well,
I'm gonna touch on the New York Knicks
Oh God.
and their wonderful owner Jim Dolan. I fucking hate that guy. I can't stand him. I know he inherited the team from his dad, and I get that, and that's perfectly fine. But this man knows nothing about basketball. He just sits there with his face, and he wants to ban people that don't agree with him. And the thing with Charles Oakley and all that other stuff last year, and then recently he fires David Fizdale. He had a 4-year deal, but he only did a year and a half, and they still have to pay him. Like, this is the thing with these New York teams. Like I said, I'm a Met fan too, so you see how my temperament is all the time. But anyway, we'll get to them on another show. But, like, you don't give a guy anything to play with, and you're always getting the trash or the players that nobody else wants from another team, and nobody wants to play there. And then they're going to Brooklyn. Which is, I'm sorry, I mean, they're the Nets and all that, and they're originally from the ABA, days and stuff but they're still New Jersey's backwash to me. So I don't care about Brooklyn Nets right now. I don't. And I know I'm in Brooklyn. I don't care. All right? But, I mean, if it weren't for Jay-Z, they wouldn't be here.
Pretty much.
But, this fucking guy, like, I mean, he's not going to sell the team. And I'm no longer supporting this team. I don't care if they make a miraculous comeback this year and win the NBA Finals, which will not happen unless you're playing 2K. But anyway, I can't with him anymore. I can't.
And it's like, I don't blame you.
And like, I don't like what's that the guy that drafted when they traded away Porzingis. Like, I was so mad at him, for leaving and all that stuff. I get it. I get it now. You had to go because if you didn't, you lose your freaking mind. You lose your freaking mind. Like, what people need to stop going to the game, stop supporting that team. Horrible management. And I heard somebody talk about bringing back Isaiah Thomas. Fuck him. Like, are you kidding me? He's like the worst tenure of the New York Knicks ever.
Don't get me started on Isaiah Thomas.
I have a friend who is nothing you can say bad about this guy. I mean, this guy used to play on the Detroit Pistons back in the day. He used to bust the Knicks' ass every time. And all of a sudden, he goes to the management, whatever. But, Belford, what you got coming up? Anything that you got going on that the good people need to know about?
Well,
any information, anything like you want to pass on?
Well, I will say this. I have a good friend of mine. He's actually having a concert very soon, a free concert. If you're into metal, my boy Annika, my boy Jimmy. This is gonna be. Hold on, I gotta look at the the promotion, actually. I believe it's in
Got
Brooklyn.
like 1-2 minutes left.
Oh, yeah. So, give me 1 second, buddy. 'Cause here we go.
Yeah, so you got about as 1 second. But
Yeah. Well, pretty much it's going to be January 4th at the Hideout in Brooklyn, New York. You know, there's going to be a couple of great bands there. My buddy's band is going to be there. You know, if you're into that thrash metal, you know, Metallica and, you know, Megadeth and whatnot. These guys kick ass. I saw them this year in Coney Island in the brewery. They were freaking awesome. Come out to the show and enjoy some kick-ass metal.
Sounds good. I'm gonna try to make it myself. As for me, like I said earlier in the show, I definitely will be returning for season 3 of Aaron Smith Can't Lose in January. I also will be returning to stand up at some point in time soon. I got a whole bunch of things going on, and I'm also working on a comedy album. So that's something we got forward to look to next year.
Nice.
And I would like to have that live recorded. Hopefully, get that process maybe here or wherever. But I'm definitely looking at that. And the last thing I'm going to say is everything and anything that pissed me off in 2019 is going to stay in 2019. I'm not going to name you. I'm not going to say who you are, what you are, but you know who you are. You know what you did. And you can eat a sack of baby dicks. Anyway, so I like to thank my good friend Belford Ruiz for coming in. I like to thank everybody for listening. And happy holidays. I guess that's what you say now, because to be politically correct.
Yes.
And whatever the shit. If not, then go fuck yourself. All right, yeah. This is Aaron Smith Can't Lose. Thank you and good night. I'll see you in 2020.